You know that feeling, right? You've got this brilliant insight at work. It's backed up by solid data, but you just can't seem to get anyone in charge to actually listen. Well, that's the challenge we're tackling today. The art of turning crucial data into decisive action.
Okay, so let's really dive into this. Imagine the data is practically screaming at you that your project is in trouble. How do you get senior leaders to stop, listen, and actually change course? That gap, the one between your analysis and their action, well, that's where careers are made. And it's a very specific skill we're going to break down.
To really get a handle on how this all works, we're going to step into the shoes of a really promising apprentice at a company called Ibis Stores. Her story is basically going to be our guide.
So, meet Jody. She is super sharp, really ambitious, and honestly, she's fantastic with the technical side of her job. You know, the data, the spreadsheets, the analysis. She has all of that covered. But, and this is a big but, when it comes to influencing people, she's just hitting a wall. And that's a huge problem because one specific skill is standing between her and passing her apprenticeship.
It's called Skill S27, and you can think of it as the bridge between data and decisions. See, it's about more than just being right, it's about being persuasive. For Jody, this feels like a massive chasm she has to cross. A huge leap from the safety of her spreadsheets into the high-stakes world of stakeholder strategy.
So, feeling pretty stuck, Jody does what any great apprentice does. She goes to her mentor, Adam, for some guidance on what this skill is really all about.
Adam explains that S27 isn't about shouting the loudest in the room. Nope, it's about having the clearest, most compelling argument backed by evidence that is pretty much irrefutable. It's about transforming that raw data into a powerful story that guides leaders to the right decision. In short, you become the voice of the data.
Now, this is where it gets really interesting, because Adam breaks it down into 4 pillars. First, you justify your conclusions with cold, hard facts, no guesswork. Second, you communicate your recommendations with crystal clarity. Third, you build a coalition of support by influencing stakeholders. And finally, here's the toughest part. You have to be ready to challenge the status quo, to speak truth to power, but, and this is key, always with a solution in hand.
Theory is great, right? But a skill like S27 has to be forged in the fire of a real-world crisis. And as it happens, Jody's line manager, Riedel, is about to hand her a lit match. So Ibis Stores has this flagship project, a brand new mobile app, and it is a total train wreck. Riddle gives Jody a massive mission: find out why it's crashing, and more importantly, figure out how to pull it back from the brink. The very first thing Jody uncovers is this alarming number. The project is hemorrhaging money and time. Now, this isn't just some minor setback. This is a full-on 5-alarm fire. And this number becomes the cornerstone of her entire case for immediate, decisive action.
So, Jody puts the theory straight into practice. She becomes a detective, digging deep into the data to find those root causes. Then she becomes an architect, building a data-backed recovery plan. But she knows that's not enough. The final, crucial step is to become a diplomat, carefully crafting her message to win over the project manager.
And this right here perfectly captures the power of her approach. She doesn't just point out the problem, she presents a clear fork in the road. Down one path, you've got continued failure, a slow descent into project oblivion, but down the other path is her clear, actionable recovery plan, a way back to success. It's persuasive because the choice is just so stark.
And it works. Jody's plan is a success, and the project manager is on board. It's a huge win, but now she needs to figure out how to bottle that lightning, how to turn this one-time victory into a consistent, reliable skill. For that, she turns to her coach, Olivia. Olivia maps out the whole development journey for S27, and it's really like a ladder you have to climb. You start by mastering the data. Then you learn how to communicate with clarity and precision. From there, you build your powers of persuasion. You gain the confidence to challenge respectfully, and finally, you learn to engage senior leaders in a true strategic dialogue. To get there, Olivia basically prescribes a workout regimen for Jody's communication skills. You lift the heavy weights of case studies to build strategic understanding. You spar in role-playing sessions to build muscle memory for those tough conversations. And you constantly check your form in the mirror of feedback and reflection to refine your technique.
All right, so finally, Jody reconnects with her mentor, Adam. She's developed the skill, but now comes the final hurdle for her apprenticeship. She has to prove it.
Adam shows Jody this table, and it's like a Rosetta Stone for her assessment portfolio in APTM. It decodes exactly what assessors are looking for. Her project reports tell the story of her analytical skill. Her emails and meeting minutes tell the story of her influence. A documented scenario tells the story of her courage. And her reflective journal tells the story of her growth.
Then Adam preps her for the final boss battle, the endpoint assessment, or EPA. He hits her with a question designed to test the very core of skill S27. It's not just asking what she did, but really getting at the how and the why, the whole strategy behind her actions.
And here's the secret weapon he gives her, a simple but really powerful storytelling framework. Start with the situation, the challenge you faced. Then present the evidence, the data that armed you. Describe the action you took, how you communicated your solution, and finish with the result, the triumphant conclusion. With this, she's not just answering a question, she's telling a compelling story of her competence.
So, the crucial point is this. Mastering skill S27 isn't just about passing a test. It's about becoming the person who can steer a project from the brink of disaster to success. It's about finding your voice and using it to make a real difference. The only question left is, are you ready to be that champion?